All right, guys, so welcome to Toylanta. I am with Michael Charles Hill, the creator of DevCon. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for stopping by and showing me this amazing box set that every Transformer fan should definitely want to have. But I'm especially thrilled by this because it's the first time that I'm aware of that anyone had produced a figure on a character that I created by accident in the very first episode of Transformers that I wrote. And the short story is, I pitched a bunch of different ideas and I was one story short. So I came up with this bounty hunter idea, and that's the one that they bought. But when it was time for me to write the story, I went down the list of all the Autobots and all the Decepticons, and none of the other characters fit. And nobody told me I couldn't create my own Transformers, so I did. But I just thought because he wasn't a toy, he was a throwaway character. So it never occurred to me once I was hired by Sunbow and I started writing more Transformer scripts to actually either write an episode for him or include him in any other episodes. So that's the question I was most asked at my very first Transformer convention is how come we never saw DevCon again? And I had no idea that he had become popular. So now, it was at the same convention I found out that Hasbro finally came out with their own version of Hasbro. So I was equally thrilled that something I had created had become a toy and had become popular even before a toy. But at the same time, it was hard for me to wrap my head around that anything that I had created for either G.I. Joe or Transform had actually become popular. I always assumed, like the Cold Slither episode, that the Gambler would have been the fans' least favorite episode.
That's not even the case, because see, for me, the Gambler, the Return of Optimus Prime Part 2 is honestly, it's one of my most memorable episodes. I'm not even gonna lie, because Part 1 is okay, but I think that is more better written. And a lot of the people that I've talked to feel that way. Starscream's Brigade, like I was explaining to you yesterday, it holds a core memory for me, because that's when I got connected to all of this, because my dad showed me the whole episode. And that's the one thing that every time I talk about it, I don't know why, he always goes to that. I'd say that the things that you've wrote definitely mean a lot to the people that are in this whole Transformer community as a whole, for sure.
Well, I really appreciate hearing that. And again, it's still, after 40 years, I certainly never had the opportunity to talk about my experiences or writing the scripts, but also never really the need to. I went off and did a lot of other things, and so most people didn't even know that I worked on these shows. And I, again, just assumed that the episodes I wrote, they were all throwaway stories, and nobody cared about them one way or the other. So it's been an eye-opening experience, and I love meeting and talking with the fans. My knowledge of the Transformers is limited to that era that I worked in, and other writers and artists and creators have taken what we started with and pushed the franchise even further. So there's so much I don't know about the Transformers, so it's a great opportunity for me to learn. In the beginning, there was no master plan. We were literally making it up as we went along.
A lot of people don't know that this is actually the first DevCon official figure that was produced. There's at least 2 others that were canceled beforehand.
So I thought what I would write on it is, I met a guy at TFCon Baltimore. He's a colonel in the Marines and works for DARPA. A big, huge DevCon fan. printed T-shirts that you can buy online that have DevCon's head on it, and underneath there's a quote that says, "The faster you run, the slower you die." So my first thought was, did I write that? My son was working with me on that show because he lives in Maryland, and he was wearing the T-shirt. So when I call him Colonel Rob, when Colonel Rob showed up, he goes, "Hey, that's my T-shirt. I designed that." And so we had a conversation, and he said, "No, it wasn't in your script." He says, "I came up with that as well." And I said, "It's brilliant. I love it." So I want to use that quote.
If you like what you saw, guys, please support us. Please comment, like, subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. We've been told many times that it's almost like a museum where you can buy things. That's one of the most wonderful compliments that we've received. Please come out, relive a childhood, or create a new one here at Second Chance Toys.